So now that we've created our document, we've added some pictures to it, let's add some text to it. And text is the other really, core element of Adobe InDesign. There are a lot of different features with text. So we're just going to be going over some of the basic stuff, adding the text and formatting it, and we can cover some of the more advanced things later. And especially this up here is going to be using something called a text on a path. So we'll cover that a little bit later as well. So to just create some text, all you need to do is select the text tool, which is over here on the left, this big T right here. You can also hold this down and there's the type on path tool. That might be visible for you. So just understand that both of these are in the same place. You hold it and you get the other one. You can also just click the T key to activate the text tool. So if I am, on this selection tool up here, if I click T, you'll see that it jumps straight to the text tool. And with text, you have to drag a text box to create text inside of it. Like you can't just click and start typing. You'll see that since I didn't actually create a box, it just defaults back to normal and I didn't actually create something. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click and we're going to drag like so, and we just create ourselves a text box. We can adjust it later. And then we are going to type in price. So P-R-I-C-E, just like that. And then what we need to do is we need to make this text bigger because right now it's really tiny. So to make the text bigger, we need to make sure we highlight this all. You can highlight it or you can just click and then click Control A. And that's going to select all inside of here. Make sure you aren't clicked somewhere else. Make sure there's a cursor blinking inside before you hit Control A so you don't select all the document assets. And so once we have this selected, we're going to go up to the top right here. And then right here is going to be our font settings, like basically this over here to the right. So we can choose whatever font we like. We can change it up. Instead of Minion Pro, we could go like Comic Sans MS. And you'll see that it changes the font just like so. And you can actually scroll through this, which will allow you to sort of just quickly look at a bunch of them and be like, oh, I really liked that one. I think that one will fit nicely. So we'll use Bungee for this. So what you can do next is go to the right, and this is going to increase and decrease the size. So, you just click up. You can also click on here and type something in, or if you click the down button, there's a bunch of different presets. Let's jump to 36, and let's bring it down to about maybe 30. Yeah, that's looking good. And you see that the font will really change the entire appearance of the look of the document. So you can choose really whatever font you want. So I'm going to stick with Bungee. I believe this over here was Myriad or Minion Pro. Again, anything works here. Once we have our content ready to go, let's go ahead and shrink this box down so it perfectly fits the text like so. And the reason we want to do this is because now whenever we align things, it's going to align it with our text instead of the text box. If it was really big, we'd be aligning things with the text box and the text would look off. So let's go ahead and just place it right there now. And then the next thing we need to do is type in the right side. To just quickly get all the same styles, all you can do is just hit, click on this. You could right click on it and hit copy and then right click and hit paste like so, or just hit Control CV. And let's line it, and you see those 3 green lines that show up. That means we are perfectly in line with this, and that's what we want to be. And then what we want to do is now you see there's a perfect green line to the left as well. To the center of the picture below, and that means we're centered here. But you see there's actually 2 lines here. There's one that's saying we're perfectly centered between the top image and the bottom image. You can see by those arrows on the right there. And then there's one, if we go just a touch higher, that says we're aligned with the right ones. Let's actually align this with the photo. So let's move it just a touch down and then click enter there. And what we're going to do is then we're going to align this one over there as well. It's a minor change, but now we are perfectly centered between these 2 bits, and then we are perfectly centered here, and now these 2 are in line with one another. So the next thing we want to do is we want to take this and we want to input our price. So let's highlight, click the delete key, and then type in our number here. So what is it, 36 million. And you'll notice that the text disappears because the text box is not big enough. So all we have to do is just click, make it a little bit bigger. And maybe shrink this back down. We might have to do a little bit of alignment before. So you might want to actually type this in before you align it. That's a little bit of a quick way to save some time here. And we need also our $sign. So again, you have to align it. This is a lot of Adobe InDesign, is realigning different things and making sure they all fit together nicely. So we have that there, but if we wanted to center it to our picture, we can move it right back there again. And now we have our text and our price all nicely put into our composition right here. So let's go ahead and click that W key and see what this is looking like. And yep, this is looking pretty good. So far, these actually look very nicely balanced with everything else. The formatting is looking pretty solid with the black here, and then how this is so like black, it sort of complements one another. So let's go ahead and add our last bit right here, which is the placeholder text. You'll notice that it's just gibberish Latin, and that's called lorem ipsum text. And basically what it is just that. It's gibberish that you can put in that contains all of the English letters. So it looks like real text, but you don't actually have to come up with real text to create. So what we can do is we can just click on the text tool again, and let's go ahead and draw ourselves another text box. There's two text boxes here. There's the one that's going to hold the title, and then the big one. Let's create the big one first. Drag it out to maybe like that. It was like that big. And now, where would you find lorem ipsum? Lorem ipsum text. It's a little hard to say. Where would you find that? So you can go online. You can find places that you could copy, paste it in here. But InDesign knows that people are going to be doing that a lot, so it allows you to do it right up here in type, and then you just go down and you hit fill with placeholder text right here. So again, it's in type, down with fill with placeholder text. You click that button and lorem ipsum text will fill the entire document like so, and it's just, again, gibberish Latin right here, but it looks like it's actually text, and now we can see what the document would look like with actual text. And what we can do next is draw in our title up here at the top. So yeah, let's make a text box. You see it's about the same size here. So now it's the exact same size, and it's a height that matches our price. You can see by the arrows matching all three of those. So now they are all in sync with one another, and that is always good to try to strive for. And then we can type in, I just typed in lorem ipsum, because if we do it any other way, actually, we don't need that to be in capitals, so I'm going to go ahead and retype that, like so. And then we can just make it bigger until it fits the window here. And if you want to make it centered, that's these buttons over here. So you have the paragraph styles, that's what all this stuff is, and you have the character styles, which is going to manipulate the character itself, so like each one of these individually. This sort of manipulates the entire paragraph, which is the box itself. And we'll cover that a little bit more in creating styles for these and how you can sync them up between different ones. So right now, all we need to do is just a couple buttons here. Let's go up here to the centering button, and let's center this text some. And then let's lower this back down. Actually, this is the perfect size of these two. So we actually want to increase this so that it fits those two, so that we're all sort of in the same boat. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's definitely looking different from the original, but that's okay. Like I said, we can put any style we want into this and sort of have some fun with it. So let's finish it up. Let's add another text box to the bottom. You can click the line tool right beneath the type tool, which is also the text tool, and create a line down here. Now, if you just try to freehand it, it's pretty hard to get this thing straight. So whenever you click and drag, hold that shift key down, and it's going to lock it in perfectly straight like so. And that allows you to, locks it at a 45, 90 degrees, basically everything around a clock that would be, like the 45-degree angle marks. So what we can do is we can drag it out to here and go up here and just increase the font a little bit. And now we have a nice little line. Lines are great. They're like really simple to add, but they really add some depth and a little bit of clarity to your pieces. So that's why they have a tool specifically designed for it in here. It's used quite a bit. So let's go ahead and finish this off with that last bit of text. We're going to click over here. We're going to do the exact same thing. Now you can see they're all the exact same length. And then we're going to go up to type. And then we're going to go to, type and then fill with placeholder text right there. And now our document is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit that W key so we can see what we're looking at here. And yeah, I'm liking the feel of this. I definitely misspelled that. I put a U in there. I'm liking the feel of this so far. Maybe we're a little bit too far down on this. It feels just like it's like, pulling too far low. And we don't have our border in yet, so I think the border would actually come really close to this. So we might actually just want to shrink this down a touch. So let's hit W again. We can just easily shrink this down and then move this up here. And you might be wondering, when I do this, why is there this red sort of plus button that comes? And that is a great segue into the next lecture. So in the next lecture, I'm going to be describing that and some errors that you might see and how to fix them and resolve them. So yeah, let's jump on over there and let's get started.